Hello trainers, Kaneto here, and today we are diving together into Go Battle League on the Great League on the open meta with a line that if you run it on the simulations on the team builder of PvPoke, you're gonna see that it gets quadruple A on every single category. So if you try to go ahead and do that on yourself, perhaps you see a B over there. Well, that's mainly because you have not switched out that moveset of Deoxys, because you do not need Psycho Boost for this team in order to get quadruple A's. You need Thunderbolt and Rock Slide, but I think you're gonna be just fine even if you use Psycho Boost, because this team is absolutely amazing, able to cover a lot of meta elements of Great League, and you're gonna be in a very good spot most of the times, because we're looking at a team with 3 pure generalists that can go pretty well towards the end of the battle, most probably even against their worst counters. So here they have their Noctowl with that golden hat, which is absolutely insane to observe, and now we can keep going with those rock slides for big damage on the Noctowl and able to farm down right after. So you can see that they return to the battle with a Stunfisk, and I have to block because this can always be an Earthquake, but guess what, I'm gonna get now to my own Earthquake, and that's looking pretty promising for me. I'm not gonna block the next one because I'm pretty sure this will be just another rock slide. That's their win con actually, so I'm just gonna let that go through, and of course now I can finish off the battle with my final move, which is the Earthquake, and of course down they go. At this point you're gonna see that I'm not gonna showcase at all my opponent's trainer names, because I do not think that a lot of trainers are up to the probability of using their full skills on that Great League format, because it is super early in the meta and some people are not that experienced in battling and Go Battle League. So I will not try to expose anyone, because someone on the previous video was like, okay Ganeto, what are you doing here? You are having a very bad trainer up against you. It's super early in the season, so yeah, I do not want to have some rants or anything from various trainers, so I'm just gonna avoid that, and let's see how we are gonna do here, because this team absolutely made a fantastic win streak for my Elo here, and I was having a 10-0 pretty fast using this pretty meta relevant line, and it makes a lot of sense as to why we're seeing it with quadruple A's in PvPoke. So enough about that, now let's see what we got here, because the Rock Slide can be used against this Whimsicott, and they're gonna get out of the battle, which is crazy, and that's gonna be another victory for our team. So right now it's raining, and you can see that they're having a Charmer up in front. So good news here is that we do not have Psycho Boost, but instead the Rock Slide, and at this point we can pressure a lot with our moves. Trying to catch one move on our Stunfisk, this is not gonna happen. Pretty cool energy management by my opponent, and now I'm just gonna get to the Earthquake for the nuke against the Sableye. I know that I can take one, but not a second. It is gonna be pretty rough for me, but it ends up that they want to overfarm for no reason, so they end up shielding, and you know what, I might shield this one as well, because I'm already there on the next Rock Slide, but they're gonna just throw, and that's a bummer. However, they're super low on HP, not gonna sacrifice my second shield, and we can farm down with the Deoxys, the Sableye, which is crazy, getting out of here with a lot of energy, expecting that Ninetales to return to the battle, but instead they bring a very nice Pokemon up against me, and that's gonna be the Diggersby. So obviously using a Psycho Boost here could have been a better choice, but still you can see that we got the Noctowl. So I'm thinking, shall I block, shall I not? Perhaps they might have something like a Hyper Beam, so they throw here the Fire Punch, and I'm just gonna throw now my Sky Attack. Of course, using Hyper Beam is not a guarantee move for Diggersby. Most of those are having Earthquakes, and it makes a lot of sense. So I'm just gonna block here because I think it is gonna be a Hyper Beam, so it is gonna be a Fire Punch obviously. So now this loaded on energy Ninetales is gonna get into the battle, but hopefully we can finish it off right on time, and now they can reach to the move to finish me off, right? No, they cannot, because we can still reach to the Sky Attack to try and pressure a lot that Diggersby, and that is looking like a promising win for us. So I risked a lot back there, should have gotten to my move much earlier, or I should have not shielded that Fire Punch, which makes no no sense at all, as it seemed if they had Hyper Beam, it would have been the first one. So anyways, that was pretty weird for me, and I almost lost that because I was not paying enough attention. So pay attention, moral of the story. Gonna get now to the Thunderbolt against that Scrafty, so we're looking pretty solid even without Psycho Boost up on the lead with our Deoxys, and we're doing a lot of work both with our Thunderbolts and the Rock Slides, which is pretty crazy. So right here we're having now the upper hand on the backline because not only they have the Altaria but also the Registeel, which is a pretty strong core to have at the back, but obviously it's gonna struggle a lot against Stunfisk, which is a very common threat for the meta. Other than that, I think that this core is looking pretty strong, so I do not want to spend the shield here, so I'm just gonna throw the Rock Slide, and at this point they end up using their own shield. Oh, I have no shields anyways, so down goes the Registeel because they survived with only 1 HP, and that is pretty funny because right now we're just gonna go pretty crazy up against them, and you just saw that they sealed it and yet died because of that 1 HP remaining on that Reggie. So able to get that victory, and now we're gonna move on into the next one. Having now the Swampert up on the lead, that's pretty cool news because they are Shadow, which means that we still need 2 of those Hydro Cannons while they take more damage than we do from those fast attacks, and at this point we can still pressure a lot with that Rock Slide. They end up taking the move, which was not expected. I was expecting the shield. If I were them I would shield because the Psycho Boost can be deadly for a Shadow Swampert, but they end up taking it, and now I have to sacrifice the second shield if I want to completely farm down, which is pretty nice for me because I can still get out of here with some energy despite the fact that I have no shields at all. Able to get here now to the Rock Slide. Hopefully it will connect for big damage on the knock. Can we reach another one? No, we cannot, so down we go, and at this point we have the upper hand with the Stunfisk over here because they need 3 of those Shadow Balls while we can still nuke them down with a simple Rock Slide. It all ends up on the final matchup, so let's see what they have. It is gonna be the Nidoqueen and Trainers just gonna get now to the Cats on the Noctowl. Is this the Earth Power? Yes it is. That was pretty obvious, I believe, so we're just gonna try and catch the move successfully, and of course now just charging up to a double move will be more than enough for this Nidoqueen to faint. They have to throw their move, otherwise they're gonna go down, but yeah, they did not shield, so I guess they just surrendered. Into the next one now, and that's another factor that I like about this team is the Medicham. You can protect your Stunfisk from any fighter with your Deoxys and of course the Noctowl, so the synergy doesn't stop ever with this team. It is pretty obvious that it gets quadruple Ace for a reason, and the synergy, the coverage, and of course the bulk with the safety are gonna be pretty amazing. So here, gonna be pretty consistent with those moves that I'm gonna throw up against this Pokemon, which is the Umbreon. Obviously they can take those moves pretty easily, but we can still take the foul plays with ease. So just gonna get now to the Earthquake, and I believe that we have to start baiting here because they definitely need that win lead scenario. So let's get now to the Earthquake, but I think that's a mistake because they are gonna block, right? No, they're just gonna go down. Okay, looking pretty solid. So with my Stunfisk out of the way, I have no problem to return to the battle with my Deoxys while keeping my Noctowl hidden and of course protected from those Ice Punches. Let's get now to the Thunderbolt for big damage on that Charizard. Of course, Rock Slide could have been the better choice overall, but I'm not gonna risk it yet. So here comes now the shield because I can definitely reach to a move. And this one can be definitely deadly for the Charizard, so they are gonna block it, and at this point just gonna go in with a Noctowl, hoping for the best. Let's block the Blast Burn, and now we can reach to the Sky Attack to finish off the remaining HP of the Charizard. And now Medicham, whatever they throw, we don't care at all. Either the Dynamic Punch or the Ice Punch can be taken and still reach to the Sky Attack with ease, grabbing this hot victory for our team. Into the next one now, and let's see what they decide to use. Okay, gonna grab this victory and having another Medicham up on the lead. Pretty cool lead for us. Let's see what they have on the Switch this time, and it's gonna be the Ninetales. So Ninetales, a pretty tricky Pokemon for my team, while we can still do a lot of work with our Deoxys. Well, against our Noctowl it might be kinda bad, so I'm pretty glad to encounter it here with both of my Deoxys and the Stunfisk. So we're just gonna take those moves, getting advantage of the situation situation that they are locked in, and of course now we can tank that energy and farm down in the process. I'm pretty sure they're gonna turn to the battle with the Medi, so I'm just gonna throw the Earthquake right effectively immediately. So here comes now the move for big damage on the Medi. Hopefully we can reach another one. No, we cannot, but they threw some energy, so that's kind of a win for me. Able to go down, but still we can get into the battle with our Deoxys and start doing some solid pressure with our Rock Slide. Gonna get the shield out of them, and it doesn't matter now because we can still survive those charms and still reach to that double sky attack. However, the battle is not over yet. They still have that Medi at the back, which they are gonna need the shield for that Pokemon for sure. Down they go, and yeah, they back out. So that is an obvious win for our team. Into the final one, trainers, and we're having the Bastiodon upon the lead. Let's see how they want to respond because Tropius is going in, and I can also catch the move on the knocked out, the resisted Leaf Blade, looking pretty solid, and we're just gonna stall as much as possible because at the worst scenario, well, I just want to go in there once again with my Deoxys while preserving a little bit of HP with any amount of energy for the end game, and my Noctowl I want to be alive because I'm expecting either the Medi at the back or the Sableye or a second grass type Pokemon. So down we go because the switch timer was never up, so all that I just said made no sense at all, and I'm just gonna return into the battle with my Deoxys, keeping the Stunfisk hidden for the end game. So as it seems they want to stay in, so I'm just gonna throw the Thunderbolt, and now we'll try to completely farm down. Yes, we can, trainers, so it is gonna be the Medi, and of course we're having the upper hand even though we got a Stunfisk for the finishing blow, because we can still reach to a double Thunderbolt against this Medicham. Obviously gonna land one of those two, and we have already put the Medi at a point that one Earthquake will do the trick. Unfortunately though, they have Power Punch, so that means that if I am not careful we might still lose. So let's get now to the Rock Slide for the bait. This is all or nothing, they are gonna block it. Let's get it, trainers. So here is now my final shield. Can we reach to the move? Yes, we can, and that is an amazing ending to this fantastic video covering the quadruple A team from PvPoke. I hope you liked the video, everyone, and that is gonna be a wrap, trainers. Thank you for watching, trainers. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and if you want to support even more, well, joining as a member can always help with that matter. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers.